Hi, this is Bridget Burke. I am going to be teaching your child Earth Science for the 2018-19 school year. This is the presentation that I give during open house. And if you can't make it to open house, this is what you're going to see. So here are the concepts that we're going to do in Earth Science. These come directly from the next generation science standards. We start with the beginning of the universe. Atoms in the periodic table, pretty standard, solar system, Earth-Moon system, and then space travel. During that space travel, a part of the curriculum, we'll do a really fun engineering project on creating a heat shield. So expect some talk about the working as a group and working on that heat shield. We do a unit on rocks and minerals and how material cycles through the earth. Throughout our curriculum, we have interspersed earth and human impacts. So we'll be talking about earthquakes, weather, and definitely climate and climate change. So here are the materials your child needs for Earth Science. The first is a science notebook. It's pretty standard. We're going to use it quite a bit. If you ever want to know what's going on in Earth Science, just take a look at that lab book. The other thing is a pen or pencil. And this year I've challenged kids to keep the same pencil all year long. So we've marked them with a little piece of tape. Now this tape is going to let me know that they've kept this pencil, and throughout the year they get little prizes if they can still hang on to that pencil. It's a good way to get them to start thinking about resources. It's also another way to make sure that they have a pencil every day. We're going to do a whole big thing on earthquakes. As you know, we're expecting an earthquake here in the Pacific Northwest. Not exactly sure when, but we do want to be prepared. So you're going to hear talk, and your child may even ask you to help plan for what happens during an earthquake, or maybe they can inspire you to create an earthquake kit at home. So how do we get all this information across to your child? Things are a little bit different probably from when you went to school. These standards are a little bit different. And probably the biggest thing is we're not doing rote memorization anymore. We're really looking at the process of science. What is science? How does science work? And getting kids to do more investigation and exploring. So an example of that would be, we're going to study diamonds and minerals and the hardness of diamonds, and we'll study how diamonds are formed. And then we're going to try to relate it to some world issues. So for instance, some diamonds are mined, and the mining process involves using slave labor or indentured servants. So we're going to see how purchasing a diamond, you can be part of a global trade in diamonds. So trying to relate what they're learning to real world issues and social justice issues too. Huge amount of information that we have to get across, and we have quite a bit of ways to do that. So we've got lab tables, and they'll be at lab tables. We'll do demonstrations, simulations, and in Earth Science, model making is a big deal. There'll be a few experiments, definitely some note-taking and drawing. There's a few videos that we'll show, and I always kind of show the 2-minute, 3-minute video clip. There's some outside reading from 2 sources, Science World and News LA. I have a set of classroom textbooks. If your child would like to have a textbook at home, they're more than welcome to go to the library and check one out. But I will not be issuing textbooks. And the big exciting news is we have a whole new slew of linear probes. And so we'll be using these scientific probes to collect data and make conclusions about whatever the topic is. So that's going to be really fun to play with too. One of the units when we do not time travel, That would be fun. Space travel, we're going to do a small engineering project about heat shields. So you may hear talk about a group project where they're engineering a small device that is going to protect their astronaut, which happens to be a Milky Way candy bar. So chocolate melts at 93 degrees, and we're going to heat this thing up well over 100 and maybe 180 degrees. And they have to protect it. So that's one example of an small engineering project that we'll do. A couple other things that I like to do in class is, again, try to get everyone to be aware of having an earthquake kit. We'll do some storm drain stenciling, talking about how water moves through the planet and what stormwater is and how it affects Dyes Inlet and Puget Sound. And we're going to do some gold panning too, which is really fun. November 17th and 18th is a great day to mark on your calendars because it's Kitsap County's very own Gem and Mineral Show. And I give kids a little bit of extra credit if they attend the show. It really is pretty remarkable to go to see just this incredible display of minerals that I just can't do in the classroom. Besides teaching earth and life science, I'm also the sailing and rowing club advisor. So if your child would like to sail or row, they can definitely join the club, and I can make sure that they make their way into a boat, either a sailboat or a rowing shell. And it's absolutely free, and the dates will be on the announcements. Let's see what else. Suggestions for you. Talk about science. Always ask them for evidence. Any claim they make, just say, well, what's your evidence? Need one more piece of evidence. Make sure that you get your child outside. Oh, here comes the custodian. Try to visit your local salmon stream. And anytime you want to know what's going on, if you can check their science lab book. You can also ask them what's going on Google Classroom. We have a Google Classroom site, and of course PowerSchool for grades. Here's a couple things. If you would like to volunteer, I'm always looking for guest speakers, or if we go on a field trip, a volunteer. We do a small sewing project, and I suspect we're going to need some help cleaning and packing for the big move to the new building, which is really, I've seen the new classroom and it is really fantastic. That's my email address. And if you ever want to contact me, that's probably the best way. Please give me about 24 hours to respond. And yeah, I've met your child. I think we are going to have a fantastic year. And thanks for supporting CK Middle School.